This is Ryanair, the infamous low-cost airline known for incredibly cheap flights, trolling its own passengers on social media, terrible customer service, dingy airports, and more. Today, I'm subjecting myself to Ryanair because I hate myself. Oh no, that's not right. It's because they had the cheapest and most convenient flights from London to Cologne. If you're planning to fly almost anywhere in Europe, they probably have the cheapest flights too. Come with me on this journey as I try and find out, is flying Ryanair worth it? As mentioned, we're flying from London to Cologne, specifically out of London Stansted Airport, which is about as close to London as the moon is to Earth. It's a bit like me claiming to be a gourmet chef because I once put finely chopped parsley on my microwave ramen noodles. Luckily, I did know this before booking and thought to make arrangements to get there. It's about an hour's drive from the heart of London to Stansted International Airport. However, there is good news. You can take a train to the airport from London called the Stansted Express. Unfortunately, no relation to the Hogwarts Express. The ticket price of the train varies depending on when you buy it, but ours were about £18 each. I did factor this into the amount I was saving with this discounted fare. As for the Stansted Express itself, no complaints. There was supposed to be Wi-Fi on the train, and it didn't work very well for me, so I guess one complaint. Otherwise, it was a perfectly pleasant ride all the way up to Scotland. No wait, Stansted. May as well be Scotland though. Before arriving at the airport, I had checked reviews and it's safe to say people hate this airport. I think it's probably the worst airport that I have ever been to, and I will show you all the reasons why. Right as we arrived, we were greeted by a nice long line. What made this extra annoying is that right after dropping off our bags, I realized that there was a much shorter line that was also doing bag drop on the other side of this wall. If the line is long at check-in counter E, take a peek over at F and you could save yourself a bunch of time. Ryanair found unique and interesting ways to annoy me during this trip. I had checked in online and got a notification saying that I had to print this boarding card or else. Of course, as we did bag drop, the agent immediately chucked this document into the recycling while barely looking at it. When I asked her, she said we did not need to print them. What the? I didn't film going through security, but I will say it was much quicker and more organized than I was expecting, given the state of the rest of the airport. Next, we make our way into the belly of the beast. This airport is a maze designed by someone who really loves crappy airport stores. It's like they thought, why provide seats when we can squeeze in another perfume shop? Luckily, I'm traveling with my Amex Platinum card, and by the grace of the travel gods, there is a lounge in the Stansted Airport that I have access to. So let's make our way over there and check it out. As we approach the lounge, I get a bad vibe. It is never a good sign when there are a ton of people hanging out at the outside of a lounge. Sure enough, I walk up and find out it's a 2-hour wait to get in. Bruh. They had a large sign out front saying, "Please be respectful to our team." I completely agree with this messaging. However, this is a professional sign, not something slapped together in a day. I get a sense that this is an everyday problem at Stansted, so if you want to hit up a lounge before your budget airline trip, this airport is not the right place to do it. It was disappointing to not get a lounge visit in before boarding a Ryanair flight, but maybe it's for the best. Going from such a high to such a low in such a short amount of time may have short-circuited my brain. Now let's talk about my next grievance with Stansted Airport. As we couldn't get into the lounge, I figured we would just walk over to the gate. But nope, can't do that either. They have this airport so jam-packed with flights back-to-back that you are only assigned your gate right as it's time to board your flight. You are forced to remain in this duty-free purgatory until Uncle Ryan blesses you with a gate number so you can continue on your journey. We could not find a seat in the main waiting area, but got lucky and snagged a couple chairs at a small British coffee chain called Prêt à Manger. Finally, we hear our calling. It's time to walk over to our gate. There is a shuttle, but given that it's only a 10-minute walk, let's stroll on over. The good news, we make it to our gate and there is finally lots of available seating. The bad news, look at the state of this seating. These seats are so worn out, they could be exhibits in a museum of ancient furniture disasters. I know wear and tear happens, but these look like they belong in a dumpster, not an airport. Luckily, we don't have to wait too long on the decrepit seats and boarding got underway.
Ryanair flight FR2352 to Cologne is now ready for priority boarding.
As is quite common in Europe, there are no jet bridges to get out onto the plane. You just stroll on over, right on the ground. I actually think this is kind of fun. Boarding went by fairly quick and I didn't want to stick my camera right in everyone's face while making our way to our seats. Though I didn't have a problem sticking it right behind this guy's butt. I swear, I was trying to show off the seats to the right. Finally, we make it to our seats. I did pay extra for an exit row. I figured if I was going to torture myself with a Ryanair flight, I would at least like some legrooms while being tortured. In all seriousness, I find the in-flight experience to be completely fine. Yeah, you don't get anything for free, but that's a good life lesson. Nothing in this life is truly free. Our taxi and takeoff are uneventful with nothing to see but some trees and an open field. This is another good reminder that Stansted is in the middle of nowhere. Alright, let's do a comprehensive seat tour. Ryanair uses their iconic yellow and blue color palette throughout the cabin's interior. On the seat back, you will find these safety instructions glued to the seat so they don't have to print out individual cards. You will also find the tray table. Nope, they actually bolt down the tray tables to reduce cleaning and maintenance costs. But I made a sneaky discovery. Look at this. My seat had a tray table in the armrest. Is this standard? All of these hardships finally paid off when I discovered this hidden tray table. Overall, the flight went off without much issue. There were many annoying things that I think are fairly specific to Ryanair and Stansted Airport, but this is the case of me getting exactly what I paid for, which is not a lot. The flight was around £100, and that's with a checked bag and exit row seating. I also booked this flight pretty last minute. So would I hop on a Ryanair flight again? Sure, it's like a thrift store. You never know what you'll find, but the price is right. As for Stansted, well, let's just say it's the place you only visit once. Like a distant relative's house that's a little too fond of taxidermy. Though now that I think of it, some stuffed farm animals could really do a lot to spruce up the place.